Greetings everybody and welcome back to day 2, the final part. Finally, we have 3 matches to cover. We have Crustle against Mega Starmie, we have Garchomp against Dragapult. I think both matches are very interesting here. So let's check it out, and if you haven't seen the other parts, feel free to check them out. Let's check the prize cards. We have 2 lilies on Zhao's side. Elmer still shuffling the cards here. And now we see the cards of Elmer here. So 2 growing energies could be a little bit annoying, but at all nothing too crazy on both sides here. And let's start with our first semi-final here. Elmer actually starting with that Mega Kangaskhan here, and we see that Duskull. So Zhao already has a way better out for this game, unlike Todd in the last game, bringing down that Buddy Poffin for 2 Dwebble here. 2 Dwebble came down, and we of course saw the run errand here and 1 attachment. Zhao bringing that Pokepet here. For a Staryu, we see the attachment to the Staryu and another Duskull hitting the bot here, and we see now the risky runes and the pass. And back to Elmer. Elmer going straight to that run errand here. Now we see there was an energy attachment, and we also see that Hero's Cape to get the Kangaskhan even more buff with now 400 HP. Zhao playing the Ultra Ball here and grabbing a Mega Starmie and going aggressive now here. Lovely to see. Retreating that Duskull out of the active and targeting that pesky little Dwebble and also the Kangaskhan with a little bit damage on it. And Elmer played Hilda for a Crustle and 1 Spiky Energy, which is actually very important for that deck, just to pump up your damage output here. And now Elmer going for that attack here, that rapid fire combo. That's 1 hit, that's only 1 hit. That makes 250, which is actually very nice for that Crustle. Now you have it in range here. Zhao played that Lily, refreshing his hand, even he already had 1 prize card, mean only 6 new cards, but actually right now he could go for a huge swing, but that's not possible right now. So just developing the board, and you see more Duskulls will be needed here for this matchup. That's why another Staryu as a backup and the Dusclops here. And now Zhao attached that Ignition Energy on his Starmie, putting more damage on that Kangaskhan with that Nebula Beam shred damage. Important for later, because he really needs that attack to get through the Crustle here. Elmer now grabbing with that Petrel 1 Jumbo Ice Cream, which allows you to heal 60 damage of a Pokemon that has 3 energies attached. And now playing 2 of them, healing 161 attachment to the Crustle. That's important, yes. And now taking that huge big knockout on that Mega Starmie, grabbing 3 prize cards here. And there we go. We got the backup attacker already here. Now probably looking to get that Dusknoir and get rid of that Crustle here. Now playing a Lily, playing a Ultra Ball to grab another Dusclops here, because as I said, this one is very important for that matchup here. but he actually pops it to put more damage on the Kangaskhan here. But let's see. No, he goes straight for the attack. Well, the attack doesn't affect Crustle, but still 120 more. That's the knockout actually. So 3 price cards here for Zhao. So Elma grabbed with an Ultra Ball another Kangaskhan and now played the Hilda, if I saw that properly. Elma bossing that little Dusk Skull here, actually very heads up, because normally you pivot out with the Curse Blast and then just promote. But if Zhao did this, he would give the last price card for Elma here. So as long there's no Crispin, there's no way to put that energy, and also he needs that ignition energy on that Starmie, because as long this is just charged with 1 energy, there's no way to attack it. Okay, so Zhao played that Hilda, grabbed that ignition energy and another Dust Clops here, and we see a Monkey Dory hitting the board. Don't forget the 20 damage due to the risky wounds. And a Dark Energy, so Adrenal Brain now is online. So Zhao plan here right now is not even targeting that Crustle, but going on that Kangaskhan, putting more and more damage onto it. And now we see another rapid fire combo, and that there's the boss for game. Yeah, that's how fast it can go. Even I thought Zhao had a really good game plan against this one. Let's go to game 2 and check out the price card. So we see the Hero's Cape on Elma's side. Very crucial card here for Elma bot, and see how things work out. So Zhao will kick things off. Having that Blood Moon inactive is nasty. Let's see. So 2 Ultra Balls have been played. 1 for the Staryu, 1 for the Dustclops, and we have a Legacy Energy on the Staryu right now. A Puffin by Elma. This brings another Dwebble, and then we see the Mist Energy and going into a Lily's Determination here. Grabbing 8 new cards. Pretty well started, I guess, even without the Hero's Cape, and we see a Ultra Ball. And that brings a Mega Kangaskhan here, and now Elma will play Ascension, which evolves your Dwebble from the deck with the attack here. So you have to watch out when you play those control that you don't put too many possible prize cards on your board that your opponent can. Zhao brings down his Mega Starmie still with that big Blood Moon there. It's hard now grabbing with that Night Stretcher the Dust Clops that was discarded by the previous Ultra Ball. And there we saw there's the Latias. Now we have the free retreat. Doesn't matter how big, how heavy your Pokemon active is. Now you can retreat it for free, and the risky runes to apply more pressure on Elma. So we're jumping a little bit ahead now, and we see now the first Shred attack here going just through that Dwebble, and now we see only, not Dwebble, the Crustland. Now we see the Kangaskhan and the Dwebble. And now we see how Zhao close out the game. Curse Blast, and the Bloodmon Ursaluna gets the job done here. And we are going to a game 3 right now. Being very great by Zhao that he found his game plan against and just stuck to it in game 2. Let's see game 3. 2 Lilies on Elma's side, but again, nothing too crazy again. Let's jump ahead a little bit since this game is very slow starting. You can see the Kangaskhan has already 2 energies. We see some cards on Zhao's side. We have the monkey, we have the Staryu, 2 Staryus, and a Meowth. But as I said, this game at all, that came pretty slow. We see now the Mega Starmie coming up. And one of the Staryus just got evolved to Mega Starmie, putting some damage on that cornerstone here. And now seeing the switch, bringing down that Mega Kangaskhan, drawing 3 new cards. And we see the Hero's Cape Kangaskhan now with 100 more HP, makes it even harder to knock it out. And now with that fully charged, we actually see the knockout on the Mega Staryu with that rapid fire combo. You see the friends of Elma going absolutely nuts here. And let's see what Zhao has in his bag. So that was not much by Zhao, sacrificing his monkey Dory right now, but also it gets harder and harder to utilize the Curse Blast here, because every prize card brings Elma closer to the victory and Zhao to the defeat, of course. And now we're getting to the last parts of this. So Zhao played that Hilda, grabs that Mega Staryu and that Legacy Energy, evolves the Mega Staryu, goes in the active, attacks it, puts some damage on it, and Elma actually has the boss's order for that Meowth, and that's the win for Elma here. Yeah, I think Zhao had a very, very good plan against Elma, so yeah. But Elma is our first finalist here. Let's see the next match. Here we have the prize cards. I think the Hero's Case, of course, is annoying, and the 2 power weight might be a little bit annoying since you want to have more HP, so the opponent can't get your Pokemon in reach with that Phantom Dive attack. Going with that Buddy Puffin, perfect start, that's what you want to see. And from the Buddy Puffin going to that Fighting Gong, yeah right, that's the name of it, grabs energy with the Fighting Gong, and another Pokepad coming down, bringing more Pokemon to the board, and now having a very, very decent, oh yeah, and one more Fighting Gong has been played. I tried to cut out the things that's not so important, like shuffling or deck checking, like that can be so much time you save here. So now we go into Mateusz, first turn. And Mateusz played that Brock Scouting for 1 Monkey Dory and 1 Dreepy. Another Ultra Ball has been played, and this is actually very interesting. He doesn't go for that Itchy Pollen, but promotes the Monkey Dory. This one is interesting, and we see the Cynthia's Cascade. And after we see all those Cynthia Pokemon coming into play with 1 attachment, Neddy's like, I don't take that bait of you. I want that Dreepy. And I don't want any, I want the charged one. Because the Rose Rate now putting 30 more to Cynthia's Pokemon attack. But there was still 1 Dreepy in play, and that could be evolved to a Dracloak. So now the machine can start rolling PokéPad. We have a new Dreepy coming down. And now we bossing again something from the other side. This time it's the Rose Rate here. And the item lock, of course. And Neddy wasn't able to do that much, but establishing, look at that board. He has everything now. 3 Rose Rates, 1 Garchomp, 2 Gabite. Looks very, very nice here. And Mateusz played that Lily's Determination and a Buddy Puffin for the Dunsparce. And Mateusz getting the second Drukloak on the bench and keeping that item lock still running. Now, let's see, another Cascade here, but won't be too big, more like a price check, a quick one, or maybe an evolution. And since he found the energy for the Roselia, now is able to get that Garchomp in the active and taking the knockout on that Badu. We jumping ahead, you see Neddy took a few small knockouts here and there, but let's go where the action starts. So Dragapult enters the field. We have the risky wounds and we see Neddy is dedicating the power weights to the Rose Rate just to keep them nice out of range, out of time, and boost your damage output here. And Neddy going here for the Draconic Buster knockout. And Mateusz seeing there's no way. So game 1 goes to Neddy. Let's go to game 2 here. Checking the price cards, of course. For my taste, there's a little bit too much of that whole Dragapult line in that, and the 2 Lilies is actually also not the best start, but we kicking off with Mateusz, but Mateusz bringing here 2 Dreepies from the hand. Absolutely magnificent start here. And Neddy goes with a Gibble from the hand and a PokéPad. And Neddy getting that Roselia, since it was very, very valuable last game. Now it can be that little piece you need to get those one-hit knockouts, and already going with the power weight here and the Lily. And that Lily brings a Buddy Puffin and a PokéPad, so the board looks more and more amazing for Neddy here. And then back to Mateusz, getting that Dracloak with the PokéPad to get the engine rolling here. And now we see Brock Scouting bringing another Dracloak, more for the engine, for your Dragger engine here. And following up with a PokéPad for another Dreepy here. Yes. And then we go to Neddy. And Neddy just developing his board, going with that super premium pull and knocking out the Monkey Dory here. Back to Mateusz, who gets his Dracloak charged here and ready to swing. And another quick turn by Neddy, just hitting in that Dragapult and of course drawing more cards here. That's what you want. Back to Mateusz. So Mateusz bossing here that Rose Rate and targeting the 1 without the power weight to lower the damage output on Neddy's side, but how it looks right now, he can actually go with the Corkscrew Punch and knock it out, the Dragapult. Neddy grabbed the unfair step with the Petrol and now bringing that Spirit Tube here and going for the knockout. On the trigger pulled here. Good having a one prizer now in the active, but that rose rate is still very low on HP, so probably this will be a 2-prize turn here. And Neddy here promoting the guard jump, always a good idea to promote the Pokemon with 0 retreat. Always nice to pivot out these things here. And now evolving that last Gabite here. Get it out of the reach of that Phantom Dive here. And after that we see a Lily's Determination. And also a Power Weight has been attached to it, and now going for the Corkscrew Punch. Since you can't knock it out one, why not drawing more cards? And yeah, Neddy stood strong here, still was on a good way, and you see Matthew showing here the Night Stretcher and the boss's order to make it a win. So it's 1-1 now. So looking at the price cards, 2 guard jump here on Neddy's side, not too bad, but on Matthew's side actually 1 3P, 1 Drag Cloak is something you can handle. We get the energy attachment, we got a Gibble, and do we get something else? No, there's the pass. And we already see there is a Buddy Puffin in Matthew's hand. Playing it for a Dreepy and a Dunsparce, and following that with a Brock Scouting here. 1 Dreepy, little consideration. Does he need the second Dunsparce or not? No, he goes for the Monkey Dory here. Brings them down, and something else we see? No, there is only, oh, there's the retreat again. Sacrificing that Monkey Dory here, but now he knows he can't get that knockout in this turn. So we see the Buddy Puffin for 2 Roselia here. Yes, so the whole Cynthia Cascade, we see that Gabite on the bench also got a energy attached here, and then we see the pass. Mateusz played 2 Pokepad for 1 Drug Cloak, 1 the Dunsparce, drawing into more cards and probably getting back, yes, 1 the Dunsparce and adding another one, drawing more and more cards here. And we see the board established now by Mateusz. Looks very, very promising. 3 Drug Cloak, there's the Sacrificial Lamp. For that, should still have 1 more Guard Chomp in his deck. I don't have the list right now. Normally you played with 3 Guard Chomps. And with that Guard Chomp now boosted by those Rose Rates, knocking out the Monkey Dory. And Mateusz promoting his Cloak. And after all the recon directives are done, also the Dunsparce is used to draw more cards here. He benched now the Monkey Dory and now going for the Ultra Ball, grabbing that Dragapult here, and now he goes for the Crispin. Oh, yes, he has all the energies, has a Psychic, he has a Dark, everything he needs right now to get a nice crisp turn here. Even could go for that Gabite actually, since this one has no special energy attached, so this is free to go for the Dragapult. And we see that special inclusion here actually, and no, he doesn't go for the Gabite, he targeting the Rosary because he knows these little things, they can be the neck breaker, making now 90 more damage. So now the Draconic Buster is in range for a non-equipped Dragapult. Want to prevent that type of shenanigans here. So Neddy was considering to play that Aoki skill, but instead chose for that Lily probably to have a bigger hand size and might get the premium power pro. And now attaching that power weight, the Rose Raid, just to keep it out of reach. Oh, and now he goes with the Gabite here actually. Packing quite a punch now with the 40 plus 90, which brings Dragapult in reach, even with the Hero's Cape, while still having a one prizer in the active. And Mateusz actually had a great turn. Two monkeys now bossing that hurt Garchomp, playing two of them now, so now he's able to get more damage on the other side and getting that Garchomp and that Gabite free prize turn here. And now Neddy looking for a response. You can see now I cut it away, but he always took like 1 minute to think what to promote here. He promotes the Gibble here. Has a Gabite in hand, I think. Gonna evolve it. Yes, but there is like, don't forget, there are still two Garchomps prized, and Mateusz preparing here for a huge turn. Yeah, so Neddy's checking again what does he have in his bag, and he sees his bag is not that deep anymore. So really taking a good look what's there, and there's not much. Like taking the crypt, the spirit tomb, some finning going on here, and seeing the writing on the wall. There's nothing much to do anymore. There was the handshake, and Mateusz goes to the final now. So we have Elmer with the Crustle against Mateusz with his Dragapult, the Dunsparce build here. And now we finally in the final on Elmer's side and 3 Poképet. That's devastating actually. That's huge. That can be huge, but I also think Elmer with the 2 Drabble now kinda needs to perform here, and let's kick things off. Elmer starts with a Cornerstone here. And it's no, actually Mateusz is starting things off, attachment and a pass, and now going for a Pokegi here on Elmer's side. Grabbing a Lily and one attachment, and now the Lily comes in play. Lily gives Elmer 8 fresh cards, and then we see the pass. Mateusz bringing down the Dragclaw, immediately Recon directs into it and grabs grabs 2 cards with that Brock Scouting here. I see 1 GP and 1 Badu. The consideration here. Yeah, how many hand cards do you have? No, but he goes for that Dunsparce attachment to the Dunsparce and the Hero's Cape, since he knows that will be his win condition here, because without the Dunsparce, we will see it later on. Now we see 2 Dwebble coming in to the mix here. The other 2 are still priced, and 1 attachment to the Cornerstone, and back to Mateusz. Then he plays a Poképad. With the Poképad, grabs a boss's order here. And doesn't hesitate, gets that Dwebble here. Let's see, does he go for the Dunsparce or does he go with the Dragon Headbutt here? Both would knock out the Dwebble. But instead goes for that Jet Headbutt with that Dragapult here. And Elmer promoting his Cornerstone now. And Mateusz played the Pokéball for the Dunsparce. Very nice to refresh it. Now the Dunsparce took one hit by that Cornerstone, and with the Dunsparce running draw, he can just bring all those cards now back in the game, back in the deck, and also draw new cards. So draw 3 cards, shuffle them back, and promoting that Dragapult here. And now Mateusz going for that huge combo turn, playing that Crispin first, attaching 1 to the Dragapult here, and 1 goes to the hand, and another Ultra Ball just to grab another Dracloak, just in case. And after establishing a Monkey Dory here, going in to 200 damage on the Dracloak, probably getting ready to get this one away next turn. So now we see the Hilda coming down, we see a Mist Energy, we see a Crustle, Mist Energy protecting Crustle from getting damage counter from that Phantom Dive. And Mateusz just took the knockout with the Monkey Dory here. Because as long you have some of your monkeys, you can still just push back all that damage to your opponent's side. And hopefully knocking out that Crustle here. But with knocking out that team Cornerstone here, there is no attack, so pass by Mateusz, and we see Elmer now going for that Petrol. And also he attached that Heroescape, and a Growing Energy brings it now to a total of 270 HP and 210 still remaining. Going for another Crispin here. Last turn established that the Dunsparce here. Recon Directive. And now Mateusz has his way out against this Crustle with the Dunsparce EX and the Destructive Drill attack here. Doesn't care about the attack of the ability of Crustle here. See what Elmer has to offer now. So Elmer just played the Lily, grabbing new energies, and see what else is in hand. We see a Jumbo Ice Cream here. 2 actually, which means 80 per ice cream. 116 total, brings back to 110. Means the whole attack of the Dunsparce just vanished into nothing. So just another Destructive Drill by Mateusz here, back to Elmer. Don't forget the Spike Energy, very important, putting itsy bitsy pieces of damage on that Pokemon, makes it even easier to get in range here. And we're going again for a Ice Cream. Means we're going back to 110. HP and 1 spiky energy attached to the Kangaskhan here. Mateusz now pushing more damage to the Kangaskhan, preparing everything nice to have everything's closer in range here. Also getting your Pokemon out of reach here with that, now bossing that, and Elma concedes here, and that's the win for Mateusz in the first game. Yeah, so Mateusz actually with a crazy build, I have to say. I still have to say the whole thing is absolutely crazy. We see the Dunsparce, Dragapult and Heroescape, so let's see how things work out. And here we go. We have the Dunsparce EX on Mateusz's side. We have one Dwebble, one Kangaskhan, and one Crustle here on Elma's side. Elma going with the Buddy Puffin and the Kangaskhan inactive. Very nice, since you can draw into, and with a control you just want to have a big hand size, so the Kangaskhan in the active is actually a pretty decent start. And Mateusz bringing down that 3P and Dunsparce, since he knows how important, especially the Dunsparce is in this matchup here. One more Buddy Puffin for 2 additional 3P here, and we see another Buddy Puffin grabbing a second Dunsparce here, and went for that itchy point on that Kangaskhan, putting 10 on it. Not too bad actually, all damage here is pretty well, but in the meantime he can establish the energies on that Crustle and making it ready to go, while just leaving that Kangaskhan in the active, drawing more cards. And now we see the Lily's Determination, which brings Elma a Crustle and the Heroescape here. And back to Mateusz here, grabbing a Poképad, looking for another Draclaw, get your engine rolling. So yeah, the Dunsparce has been played, and just go for another itchy point here. Not too bad, keeping the options small for Elma here, with still the Kangaskhan and the Crustle, both, especially the Crustle, almost established fully with all the energies, is pretty nasty already. And what did he play? There is a Hilda plate. Mateusz really get into his flow, played that Rescue Wolves, played that Monkey Dog, which gives 1 damage to that Dwebble. You see the Dragapult is already established and fully charged. Will take care of that Dwebble as long as you can, and putting huge damage to that Kangaskhan here. Elma playing that Pokegear, and in the last card there was this Boss's Order, very important for those decks here. And you see Mateusz not dedicating too early into his Dunsparce, since you know that there are more than enough Gust in Elma's deck. And you can see Elma just attached another energy to the Kangaskhan, bringing that Dunsparce, charged it with a Crispin, and putting that Heroescape, so you can't knock it out too fast here. So recon directives, of course. Okay, Mateusz just took the knockout on the Kangaskhan, which is absolutely huge, and Elma knows where the problem is and targeting it immediately here. So now we have two Pokemon with the reverse cape in the active, both pretty bulky here. And now we see the Ice Cone healing 80 off that Crustle, but another Ice Cone, bringing it now to 100 and what is it? It's 160, so 110 are leaving here. And Mateusz going for the knockout of that Crustle, but since there were two spiky energies on the Crustle, there is a double knockout. Something we don't see that often, so I love to see that. We already have a buffed Crustle here with that growing energy, with that spiky energy. And now we are in the final turn. First things first, we see the Might Band. No, excuse me, not the last turn, but we're in the last turns. Not much more will happen. We are closing in soon. We have a confused Crustle. We have, of course, the Spike Energy, and there's the Fist Bump. There's nothing else to do for Elmer. And Mateusz, with his crazy Dragapult, the Dunsparce build, did it. Lovely to see, and congrats to Mateusz. And seeing this reaction, I'm not even sure if he's happy that he won or if he's happy that he just brought that game to an end with a positive end for his side. That's why I think, yeah, it was a huge grind, but playing against Crustle is always but perfect preparation, especially to the Dunsparce. I think many people just looked at it and were like, why or what, but perfect prep. Well, we finally did it. My goodness, 4 parts, 12 games. That was a grind. Even we had some more grindier matches. We had the Piper match that was grind. We had the final with the Crustle. We had a semi-final with Crustle. So yeah, I'm actually just happy I did it. Let me know what you think, and make sure to like and subscribe for the next one. I think the next is this weekend. We have a free weekend, no regional this weekend, but this one after, I think it was Los Angeles. Yes, get ready for this. I have to match the timetable a little bit different since I'm living in Europe, and when this started might be in the evening. So yeah, that's all of this. I'm checking out here. Have a nice one. Peace.